Hello, Ambrose here. I said in a previous video when I started talking about VPN or Virtual Private Service, VPN, Virtual Private Networking, that I wasn't going to let you know who is the best out there. Well, I've changed my opinion on this and decided to let you know who the best provider is as far as my needs go. I've tried out. I'm currently a subscriber of Strong VPN. I'm a subscriber to Hide My Ass VPN, and also one called BitTorrent VPN, and I'm also subscribed to one called IbVPN. That's I as in Ida, B as in boy, VPN, which is the best VPN you can go with out of all of them that I've mentioned. And what I mentioned isn't all that I've tried. I've tried all the free VPNs, and basically if you want a fast connection and you want access to multiple servers all over the world, you're not going to get that for free. If you use a free one, you probably have, the software is probably going to be buggy, maybe one server, and you're going to be slow. So my recommendation is, if you try to get your VPN service for free, don't even bother, because it's just not worth the trouble. You get what you pay for, and if you want fast servers, you want servers all over the world, you gotta pay your $5 or $10 a month for the privilege of accessing a VPN. Just a quick explanation of what VPN. VPN is Virtual Private Network. What it does is it encrypts your network, your internet connection from your computer to the server that you hook up to. Okay, so say you're using Cox Cable. It's one of the providers here where I'm located, and they monitor, for example, people that do torrent or peer-to-peer networking. And if they do that and see anything they don't like, then they see it in their streams, and then they notify their people that use their connection that they're going to turn off their service if they don't stop doing what they're doing. When you use a VPN service, you encrypt your connection, so whatever internet service provider is monitoring you, for example, peer-to-peer downloading or torrent downloading, they will become blind to what you're doing when you use a VPN service, because you encrypt your computer to the VPN service. So everything between you and the server is encrypted to your internet service provider. So you unblock and unmonitor everything from the internet service provider that you pay your hard-earned money into. You should have the right to privacy anyway. You shouldn't have to encrypt your connection, but unfortunately that's not the way it works anymore. So anyway, go with IbVPN, and I'm going to tell you why. They have servers all over the world. Like there's particular servers I like in Europe because they're really fast. Now, IbVPN currently has 3 servers that are officially designated for peer-to-peer torrent downloading. When you install the software, you'll get a pop-up of the servers that you can log on all over the world, and in the list you will see P2P on 3 servers. Currently that's Luxembourg, the country of Luxembourg in Europe, Germany in Europe, and the Netherlands. They do not log activity of who's doing what on their servers, on any servers, but anyway, these particular 3 servers I mentioned in Europe are specifically allowed for peer-to-peer and torrent downloading, so you can do what you want, and you're also private on those servers and any other server you use, because they don't log activity. That's their privacy policy. Such a policy is unheard of with all these services that I mentioned. There is no other service out there, Hide My Ass, Strong VPN, they do not have any servers that you can log on to that they officially allow peer-to-peer and torrent downloading. It's difficult, it's very difficult to find a service provider that will officially allow such connections through their network. So anyway, IbVPN is one of the very rarest out there, and only ones that you can buy into that do officially acknowledge and put into their software, okay, we'll let you do peer-to-peer and torrent downloading through these 3 specific servers. And of course I've logged on to them and tried them out and tried various servers, and I have favorite servers, and of course I'm not going to tell you my favorite servers because if everybody else uses them you might slow them up. Okay. So just to explain a little more about VPN service, you see, when you log on to a VPN server, let me explain first of all that you have an IP address from your service provider that you use. It identifies you. Every website you go to, everything you do traces to that IP address. So when you visit a website, they can trace it and see exactly where you're coming from. Like law enforcement could trace it and be knocking on your doorstep. Now what happens when you use a VPN service provider and you log on to the server, your location, who you are, becomes a new IP address of that server. See, each server you log on to has its own IP address. So say for example you log on to Paris, France. Okay, now when you log on to Paris, France, your internet service provider, wherever you are, becomes hidden and encrypted, and who you are becomes Paris, France. You log on to Paris, France, that's who your internet service provider traces to. And you can Google it and do IP traces, and you can find out what I say is true. When you hook up to the VPN, all applications on your computer, everything you do on that computer routes through whatever server that you log on to. So you can Skype, you can message, emails, everything will trace to Paris, France. Like, say for example, somebody, I don't know, anybody, somebody that wants to stalk you, traces you. When you use a VPN service, their trace is going to stop at the server that you're logged on to. They're going to see that location and think, well, you're in Paris, France, or you're in Russia, Moscow. Believe it or not, you can log in Russia, but there's something going on there because I think the connection is being monitored and it takes forever to route. So they're either, well, somebody's country is reading the connection and decoding it and watching everything going on. Anyway, that's getting off topic. It's getting off topic, and so VPN service, it encrypts your connection, so people in the U.S. like the NSA, FBI, or just a hacker that's watching your internet connection become blind because the internet connection is encrypted. So you protect your privacy. So someone that might be hacked into your hard line outside of your house or apartment are no longer able to see what you're doing because you're encrypted. You don't encrypt that connection with the VPN. Someone between you and your IP provider can see everything that you do, and it's not a good thing. And so like I say, get a VPN service and pick any service you want throughout your country or the world, and your IP address changes to the server that you log on to, and it protects your IP that traces to who you actually are and where you are. So go with IbVPN. You'll have access to servers all over the world, and like I say, the 3 peer-to-peer servers that are officially allowed, which is a service that is unheard of in VPN providers. They hate to do that. They hate to officially allow such things to go on with their VPN service. So this is when a service does this, this is the best customer service. And I'll put the URL in this video and through the video, and that's about it. So if things like PIPA and SOPA pass and the U.S. starts blocking internet connections, VPN service is going to get really big, because you see, if the U.S. blocks, say, certain websites, what you'll do is you use your VPN service and you'll log on to some other country around the world that does not block, so that the website sees that you're in that country, and it will unblock what the United States decides to block. Of course, this is the same methods they use in countries that are already censored, like Dubai and China, you know, communist China, Russia, you know, countries that block websites. Well, people get around it with VPN simply by logging onto servers outside of the offending country that thinks they can block people's freedom to visit what websites they want. So you see, if you're in China and you're blocked, you log onto the server in Europe, and so all websites see that think that you're in Europe, because that's where the server that you're logged on from, and you unblock everything that the Chinese government blocks to you. I hope here in the U.S. we don't become a China communist censorship country, because that's really abusing our freedoms to do what we want on the internet. But should powers be given, you know, the industries like the music industry and the movie industry already have too much power as it is. They're already getting people in trouble with their internet service providers, because they'll trace an IP people will use, and they get notifications from the movie industry, music industry. Oh, you have to delete the file. You don't, and we're going to kill your internet service. You know, people are getting in trouble and stuff already as it is, and the music industry and the movie industry has set up a surveillance system of many internet service providers that they've got the cooperation of. This is already an invasion of our privacy. We shouldn't have to have our communications monitored by anybody in the country, much less the music industry or the movie industry. You know, so we don't need bills and laws like PIPA and SOPA passing off, forcing us to have to circumvent our own government, censoring our freedoms of what websites we want to visit, and have to start sending or routing our traffic through other countries to enforce our freedoms. So anyway, that's about all I have to say, and we'll see you later. Bye.